So you see this thing?
A motor.
Sort of. Part of a motor. But specifically this.
What is it?
A logo.
Oh, well, yeah, the logo.
The emblem.
But what's behind that?
I don't want it there anymore. It's a Yamaha Stratoliner. So these are adhered the same as, like, you know, your Honda emblems or Toyota emblems or whatever on a car. But anyway, so check this out. This is our tool of the day. Can you identify it?
A purple hair dryer. I mean, it just looks like a hair dryer.
It's not a heat gun. It's a hair dryer.
No, I'm confused.
It's a hair dryer.
I said that. I'm so confused.
I don't know where my heat gun is. And to be honest, this is plastic and this is plastic. It's all plastic. So I don't want to melt it with a heat gun. And I'm just too lazy to go find it. I looked for it a couple times. I don't know where it is. So I got the second best thing. Just takes a little bit longer. So I'm going to mute myself so you don't have to hear the hairdryer, but give me a minute to heat this up because it's going to heat up the adhesive that's underneath here.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Floss. You're gonna floss.
I'm going to use floss to get it off.
The cool thing about the hairdryer is that you don't have to worry about melting anything. Yep. See what I'm doing? I'm halfway through it. Yeah, I broke my floss. I'm halfway through. Heat up the rest. Okay. Get it done.
So I double it up. A thickness of 2. Ooh, that's kind of hot. The other thing is if you do this with floss, it really is like the safest and best way to do it. But if you do it with floss, don't get this flat stuff. Get the round stuff.
Yep. Almost there. It's almost there. Ah. Goodbye.
No more. Then we got the problem of the
So
adhesive. So when this adhesive is warm, just pull off as much of it as you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously on plastic, like chrome coated plastic. So you don't want to scrape it with anything that's not also plastic. Fingernails probably work really, really good. So if you look at this, there is some little bit of thicker stuff still
Yeah, I see
on
it.
there. So I'm going to just take the thick stuff off. I'm actually using this floss container as a scraper. It's got a nice little plastic thing on it,
Yeah, that makes sense.
almost like a plastic blade. They make plastic scrapers too, but I mean, it's whatever you got. And then if it doesn't, you know, if all you're left with is kind of like flat adhesive where it's not like, you know, thick,
Mm-hmm.
then one of the best things to use, you don't even need like a Goo Gone. One of the best things to use is PB Blaster. You know, the penetrating oil that we use?
Yeah, that's the PB Blast is the stuff we use on the cars all the time, like for everything.
Yeah, it actually, if you spray that into a rag and kind of like coat this, give it just a minute, and then it kind of just starts peeling off. Like you could just rub it right off, and it'll take all the adhesive off, and then you could just clean the surface with like a Windex or soapy water or whatever. It'll take the the rest of the PB off, and then it'll kind of be ready to put new stickers on. So some people like if this were, the back of a car, you know what I mean? You take the Honda emblem off, the Acura, Nissan, whatever. Like some people like that clean look with no emblems. Same thing on a bike. You're going to like some people would just like this chrome piece, just completely clean and bare. So anyway, this is all nice and flat now. I can't really take any more of this off. So, I could get the PB blaster, just put it on a rag, clean rag, and then just literally start rubbing the wet PB blaster soaked rag all up and down this, and all these little pieces of gook are going to just come right off. I'll show you this for a second. That's kind of how it'll look on the bike. So I've got to you got one shot on doing this right. So it's tough when I put them up there, to see how they're gonna stay. I'm not sure if I should start with the first one or the one that's going to be in the middle. How did I do this so good last time? So what I did was I set this thing up on a piece of tape first, spread out the the numbers in the distance that I wanted. It's difficult because they are angled. So they're meant to be at an angle. So it's kind of hard to judge the distance between them, make sure that that's even. And also straight on a line. If you put them all straight on a line, again, that's an angled line. So even though they're flat, the numbers are still, off like that. So I'm trying to find a good place for them now. What I did was I stuck the emblems backward onto a sticky piece of packaging tape, but only halfway. So if you look at it, they're only stuck half. So I only put half of it on here just to keep it in place. Then I taped the packaging tape to the bike where I want it. Now, I've never done this before. Never done it this way before, I should say. I did do this before, but honestly, I don't remember how I did it. I think I just winged it, and it came out pretty good. So you can do it however you want. I'm being a little bit of a perfectionist now. $113.